Hey guys, welcome to another video from NZ Pocket Guide. Today we're going to cover the latest news about working holiday visa in New Zealand in the midst of the coronavirus crisis. Hey guys, so my name is Robin and this is Laura, and we're the two writers behind NZPocketGuide.com, which is the largest travel guide to New Zealand, and we do a lot of videos to try to inform you about the latest development due to the coronavirus crisis here in New Zealand. If you were planning to come to New Zealand on a working holiday visa, you may be in two different circumstances. Either you already applied for your visa and you didn't get a chance to come to New Zealand and experience New Zealand for an entire year, working and traveling and having the gap year of your life. Or you were planning to apply for a working holiday visa, but as soon as you wanted to apply, well, the crisis hit and now you don't have the opportunity to apply anymore. So this left a lot of people into kind of a bit of a limbo situation, and a lot of people are coming to us with a ton of questions, mainly asking us if they're going to get another chance to apply for a working holiday visa if they're getting older, or if they are going to be able to reuse their working holiday visa if they got the visa and didn't get a chance to come to New Zealand. Now, there has been no new information published by Immigration New Zealand, but we can tell you a little bit of the story of someone which actually contacted us earlier this month, which is August 2020, with a question, and that we try to guide through the process. So in this video, we're going to go over his question or answer. We send him to Immigration New Zealand and then the official answer to his question by Immigration New Zealand. So let's get started with what Jesse said when he contacted us first.
Alright, so Jesse asked us the question, "Hello Robin and Laura, I watch your videos on YouTube and look at your website, so I believe you are the best to ask about the updates on New Zealand. Thank you too. I am from the US and turned 31 in 5 days. As you probably know, after that I missed the requirements to apply for the USA working holiday visa. I was trying to wait to apply until the last moment so I have a maximum time after they approve the visa for them to reopen the New Zealand borders so I could enter. But now on the website it looks like they've suspended people applying for visas for 3 months, and obviously if I submit mine in 4 days or less, a 3-month suspension would block me completely. Then I'd never be able to get a USA working holiday visa. I'm asking you if I am right about this, that there is no way to fill out a USA working holiday visa right now for at least 3 months, or could I still submit an application somehow? I'm pretty sure I wouldn't qualify for the exemptions. I hope I'm not screwed, lol. I hope you can help. I would call NZ Immigration, but last time a 10-minute call cost me around $60 US. I don't see any other ways to contact New Zealand Immigration. Your help will be greatly appreciated. I hope you can respond to this email. This would also be good for you to talk about on your YouTube video on Saturday and Sunday, if you'd like, and I'm just trying to find the answer as soon as possible." And that's from Jesse.
Alright, so what I told to Jesse when he came to our live session, I'm not going to replay the clip right now because that's just going to make this video way too long. But in short, what kind of tips that we gave him was first to email Immigration New Zealand and ask them straightforward the question. They actually are usually pretty good at responding by emails, and we'll get their email response right now because that's the option they chose. Another great way to contact Immigration New Zealand without spending $60 on a 10-minute phone call, because you will be on hold. Like, let's be honest, if you contact Immigration New Zealand, you will be on hold and often like for over an hour. So is to get one of those calling credits from a company like Skype. So if you have Skype, you can buy calling credits for New Zealand, and I think that only cost about $5 for 60 minutes. So at that point I would advise to buy yourself 2 hours, and you can also top up as you go, so it's quite handy. It's not ideal, obviously, it costs you a little bit of money, but that's definitely cheaper than $60 for 10 minutes. I do not know any company that should charge $60 for a 10-minute phone call.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So the other thing that we told Jesse is that legally we do not have the right to give him immigration advice. In New Zealand you have to be a registered immigration advisor in order to give immigration advice, and we are not. So we're here to give you kind of broad guidance on traveling in New Zealand, and visa questions sometimes come up like this one, but we are not able to give him a very straightforward answer. So we sent him to Immigration New Zealand. We asked him to contact Immigration New Zealand. I gave him a bit of a guideline of like what to ask them exactly, and hopefully he was able to get an answer before the deadline hit, which actually he did. So that proves that contacting Immigration New Zealand by email is usually the best way to get your answer. Now the great thing is that when Jesse contacted me back and he said that he got an answer from Immigration New Zealand, he included the actual answer, a copy and paste straightforward answer from what Immigration New Zealand said. And I asked him if it was okay for me to share with you guys what they said in order to inform as many people as possible about this situation, if any of you guys are in a similar situation. And again, the answer that we're gonna read right now is gonna apply to anyone trying to come to New Zealand on a working holiday visa. You can come in New Zealand on a working holiday visa from 42 different countries. This applies to everybody, not just citizens of USA. So here's the answer that Immigration New Zealand gave to Jesse.
Okay, kia ora, thank you for contacting us. We are not accepting any temporary visa applications from those currently outside of New Zealand for a period of 3 months from the 10th of August 2020. This is because if we granted the visa, you would not be able to travel into New Zealand on the visa due to the fact that our borders are closed to most travellers and we do not know when they will reopen. We cannot predict if there will be any change to the age restriction policy for people applying for a working holiday visa, and if there is no change to this policy or temporary exemption to the age restriction, it may mean that a small amount of people may miss out on being able to apply for these. I hope this is helpful. Kind regards from the immigration officer.
All right, we just skip the names.
Yeah.
Of the immigration. All right, so as you can tell, this is not really good news for Jesse and all other people which are in his shoes. What happens basically is that since Immigration New Zealand decided to stop receiving applications from people which are outside of New Zealand, simply because since the borders are closed, nobody is allowed to come to New Zealand, so why would they process visas? That also allows them to work on their backlog and as well as process all the emergency immigration application that they're receiving from people which are simply stranded in New Zealand. There is actually a significant amount of people which are here in New Zealand with expired visa and just don't have an option to get home. For this reason, those people get priority and are treated quite quickly. So also one of the sentences that the lady said is that it may mean that a small amount of people may miss out on being able to apply for these. This is, and obviously just my interpretation on what they're saying, but this is really bad news. This kind of means that there may not be any kind of leeway into, well, you're too old now, you're missing out, or well, you got the visa but you didn't get to get in, so you're missing out. So that may mean that they will have to take a hard approach at the subject and be like, you know what, New Zealand won't be able to handle the huge influx of people if we let everybody that was trying to come before plus the new people coming in, so we may as well start afresh. And that's kind of what it looks like right now. Obviously, this is only the statement from one immigration officer. This is not an official policy from Immigration New Zealand. They will probably release a new, like a new policies as soon as they basically get a word from the government, because they're just an acting branch from the government. They don't make the policy, the government does, and then they just act on it. So as soon as they do so, we obviously will be releasing a video on this channel to help you plan your trip to New Zealand. That's all we do here on this channel. So if you're new here, like, subscribe and do all that. But in the meantime, that also means that someone like Jesse may miss out. Now the silver lining to that is that Jesse told us that he was still excited to come to New Zealand on a holiday visa. He's just gonna have to work a bit harder and save some money before coming, which it's sadly there's going to be the situation on quite a bunch of people. Yeah. Another thing that is worth keeping in mind as well is that the situation is very fluid right now. Things are changing all the time. So in 3 months, when this visa application restriction stop applying, they may completely change and reverse their policies. We're also having an election in New Zealand, which used to be, it was supposed to be in September. Now, due to COVID-19, it was postponed to October. But we're going to be electing a new government and maybe a new prime minister. If we get a new prime minister, which is from a different party, they may have a completely different policy, and things may completely radically change. Even our border closure policy may completely change. So there is a lot of balls in the air right now that the government is juggling with. I just hope that getting an official statement from Immigration New Zealand, an official response from Immigration New Zealand to Jesse's question may have been of information to you. If you do actually have some information for us and you want to share, you can always reach out to us. You can contact us on Facebook, or you can contact us in the comments of any of our videos. Now, if you do have any questions of your own and you want to ask your question to us, you can join us in the live chat, or what can you do?
You can also put your question in the comments section of any of our YouTube videos.
Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.